9.5 because I feel like I'm an ant. Like I don't have to be told what to do. I'm doing what I need to do. So I don't necessarily need you to tell me. I need to know that this it's time to sit down. I need to know that this is where I'm supposed to be, this is what I'm supposed to do. So I don't really need a man to tell me what I need to do. And so if it was a 10, then that means I listen to every single last thing without even running it through my logic and my experience. So that's why I gave myself that.
But
That
Mr.
so
Let Go, like I'm so sorry, Mark.
no, that's fine. No, I was gonna say if you find like an extremely feminine, submissive woman, it's either a father that made her feel very safe and protected that she still like looks to as the man in her life, or she has a man or a husband that does that. I think almost all women, with a few rare exceptions, they default is like to be feminine and submissive. But like Mr. Lego said, with the trauma, you got bad relationships or the man that you with you do not trust at all, so you feel like you got to protect yourself from him within the relationship. So now you fighting him to try and get what you feel is right within a relationship, and it all boils down to the trust factor, which is why I be so big on just stop lying to women and give them choices and options when you're speaking to them, because at the very least they know they chose that, and if they stay up under that, they can feel like they're protected because they know at the very least you're going to tell them the truth and give them an option about whether they agree or they disagree with what's going on. It's an act of, I think, masculinity to make the women around you feel safe, also the men around you feel safe. The consistency, stability, and security of knowing that, look, this man is this specific type of person. You don't even really got to go into detail. You should go into detail, as Trev said earlier, about asking questions to get to know somebody. But there's some people you could just tell like he ain't going for that. He's not about to allow this. I don't even. I was talking to a young lady one time, and I asked her who Cardi B was because I never heard of her. She was like, "You'll never like her." I don't know who Cardi B is. I never had a conversation about what type of women I like. She knew off top that I would be offended and disgusted by somebody acting like that. And I think that speaks to the way she sees me as a man. And that's why she doesn't behave in that way. Because she, even if she had it in her, she would not do it when we were engaging. Because I'm just, it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? I said time and time again, I'm turned off by that whole ideology, that attitude, that reflection of who you are. It's disgusting to me. So yeah.
And another part of being triggered is the woman's inadvertent need to protect herself, right? Like some of y'all have been protecting yourselves for so long where when if something happened and the dude is like, we doing this, no, no, no. And you like, what are you talking about? I actually had a woman where we was just leaving the movies or something, and some crazy shit was going on, and we was like on the third floor at a parking deck, and it was at night, and something was going on like right near the elevator. So we stand in the elevator. I looked, I was like, come on, we walking up the steps. She's like, no, I don't want to walk up the steps. I said, we walking up the steps. She says, no, we're not. And I'm like, we're walking up the steps. She said, I'm standing right here. And I had to, I was forced to stay right there because if I take you out, I'm responsible for you. So I'm in a position where something could have happened to both of us because it was a whole bunch of stuff going on. Dudes was fighting or whatever. And I'm sitting here like pissed because she won't let me protect her. Never call her ever again. I got her back home, and that was the last time I didn't even talk to her again because I was so offended by her need to protect herself versus me protecting her. I'm like, you know what? That's a trauma response. She went straight to, I got this. I'm from the hood. I don't care what's going on. They better not come over here with me. And she literally did not even listen to what I was saying, or either she looked at what I was saying as I'm being controlling. But I'm like, yo, I'm trying to keep you safe, trying to keep me safe too. But I was so mad because I had to stand there next to her, and I could have got shot or something by standing there because I couldn't just leave her. But yeah,
so
it's go ahead.
Do y'all immediately like judge women for that, or do y'all try to be understanding and think of that?
Oh no,
like,
I'm
maybe
done.
It's a trauma response and just like kind of like that's a.
If I can't protect you, if I can't protect you, I have no use for you because you can put me in a position where I can get hurt, just like in that situation. I could have got hurt. Like it makes no sense. I'm not dealing with you because this day you say no because I'm like Sarah knows me. Some of y'all know me. I'm not gonna be yelling at nobody if we're in person. So if I turn around, like, get down, come over here, hey, do this, I mean it. And I'm not gonna turn around and just hear you say, who are you talking? If you don't get your ass over here, because to a certain degree, if I see you as somewhat of my responsibility, I'm not saying twice, and I'm here to help you. But here's the thing, if you interpret my words or my tone of voice when we're together and we're outside where something can happen as who you talking to, oh no, you trash to me.
Okay, well, not necessarily, of course, with something like that. Not a situation when your life is in jeopardy, of course, but like any other way where a woman is like using her masculine energy because she's protecting her feelings, not necessarily something that could put you in danger, but like, do y'all take that in consideration? Like,
Can you give
and
an
help
example?
them, lead them back to their feminine energy rather than just be like, yeah.
Can you give a
What?
specific example of
Yeah,
what
can you
you
give
what you
an
mean?
example? Like you talking about in a relationship, walking down the street, like what you mean?
I think
Okay, go
while
ahead.
you're thinking of an example, I think that Aaron just gave an example of what he was talking about as far as saying, hey, we are about to leave. And then she said no. And then he stepped up again and he said, no, we need to take the stairs. And she said no again. So I think that sometimes we as women will get lazy in recognizing where a man is trying to take the leadership and we're not allowing him to have it. And I think that the reason why is because it does go back to that trauma response of we can't trust anyone more than we trust ourselves. And
Yeah.
if we know that up until this point, we've only ever made bad decisions, we've only ever chosen bad partners where we're up and at it and frazzled and traumatized and, you know, triggered and all of those things. And why would we trust that a man is saying, hey, I'm trying to protect you, when realistically speaking, the protection that we act like we have is actually a defense mechanism that says we don't trust ourselves. It's a cloak, right? So I think that we as women and you know, maybe you guys agree, maybe disagree, I'd love to know what you think, but I do think that if you're stepping into your feminine, because I too am like you, I cannot see this far and y'all are on my phone, but I think it's Mama 3, what you were saying. It's like, I'm established, I got it going on, you know, I've spoken all over the world, I've made the money, I've had the cars, I've done all of the things, but when I get around my man, I am like little girl. I literally turn into giddy, let me follow you, oh my God, I'll melt into your arms.
I want to be in your skin, Daddy.
Baby, yes,
Definitely
so
want
ready
to
for
turn my
that.
brain off.
Yes, I don't want to think, like I don't want to think about anything, right? Well, not anything, but y'all know what I mean. But I say that to say
Yes.
that it's a beautiful opportunity for us to maybe when that man the first time says, no, we're doing this, maybe just pause and say, well, why am I a little resistant towards what he's saying? And one of my exes, ultra successful man, super masculine. That is the most feminine I've ever been. I got so many beautiful glimpses of how I'm going to be inside of my marriage. But he used to say to me all the time, because I used to be, you know, achieving Sarah, traveling around the world, Sarah. And so inside of that, I was still in my masculine and I didn't know how much I was. And he said to me, if I have to explain to you what's happening while we're on the battlefield, we'll both get shot.
Thank you.
Sometimes you just need to listen. And when we get off of the battlefield, when there's time, I'm going to be like, all right, baby. So look, this is what was happening. There was crossfire. We had to get out of there. And then it can make sense to us after. But it goes back to, if you don't trust yourself, you'll never trust a man.
Because I am not explaining shit. When
I
I say we go. And if you give me any kickback, I ain't never talking to you again.